Competitive COD League fans, how are we doing? My name is Franz and welcome to the video every person has been waiting for, the 6-man play coming up for tomorrow's matches happening this Thursday, April 20th. Guys, if you are new to the 6-man prop, the 6-man play, it is where we go through a full slate of Call of Duty players. We pick our top 6 players that we think are going to under or overperform, and we make a 6-man prop. This does end up banking you 25 times of whatever you put in. So that is the reason why we go for these huge 6-man plays, because you can get a giant payout, and I definitely think it's worth it. I use it to pay off some college loans. You can use it for whatever you want. But yeah, I definitely think these 25 times, these 6-man props are worth it. And if you can, come ride it here with me. You can split it up though. If you don't want to risk the 6-man prop of hitting, you could split it up into 2 3-mans, a 4 and a 2, or just 3 2-mans. That's completely fine, whatever you guys want to do. These are just my top 6 plays for tomorrow's matches. And guys, keep in mind that this is no map set. We are looking at no map set here because unfortunately the map set does drop about an hour before the match starts. The reason being is because coaches have to get in their vetoes. These are my predictions, my analysis. We're going to be going over some stats as well. But yeah, it'll be my dead set predictions of what I think is going to happen, not only in these matches, but also with these players. So I think, you know, sometimes we'll have a player that might win a map, but we think they're going to still underperform because they might just be a slower player for that team. So let's jump right into it, guys. I do have a good, solid 6-man prop for you guys. I don't think it's going to be the best 6-man prop for the weekend. I think there's going to be some better boards out there as we move on in this tournament. However, this is the first board we're seeing, and we're just going to work with it. I do think there's some risky stuff to go to, or some risky stuff to go for, but this is going to be the 5 plays or the 6 plays that I'm the most confident in. Starting off here, guys, we're going to go Bance with the under in map 1 to 3 kills, and we're going to call this kind of a fan play here, or a fan prop, because I have been seeing a lot of Twitter notifications and then also some Discord messages that were talking about this Bance play being a solid play, and then I started to look at the numbers here, and I mean, these guys were not wrong. I forget one of the homies that was really pushing the Bance play, but I shout out this one to you, man, because you were pretty much dead set correct on this one. And he said he's hit it like 11 or so times, so you got to respect that. Bance here with 23, Bance with 1, and then Bance with 15. He gets a total of 39 kills in this match against LA, and they do end up playing here LA in this first matchup. That's kind of unlucky for Rocker, but that is what ends up going through. So Rocker does play this LA team. Bance had 39 there. We go to this Atlanta match. In these first 3 maps, I think he drops around a 45 mark. He has 13. He got 10, so it was a really good S&D from him. You don't expect that every time from Bance, and then you also have 22. So yeah, a good 45 here in this one. That still hits the under because his line is at 48.5, and those are just 2 really solid teams that they went up against in these past matches, and it is another solid team in LA, or the same team in LA. So I do think he's going to underperform here at map 1 to 3 kills. We're going to call this our fan prop, and we are going to do more of these fan props. So if you guys are seeing something, guys, I can't see everything. I'm not a genius all the time. I only sometimes hit the 6-man, right? So if you guys are seeing something, make sure to put it down in the comments or just let me know. We do have a Discord up and running where we're just giving some good discussion about some of these props. And I just love talking Call of Duty with anybody who wants to. So we're going to go Bance here on the under in map 1 to 3 kills. We're going to go Drazah here. More on map 1 to 3 kills. If we go just recently to this Minnesota match that they had, it was Drazah, man. Drazah is that kind of like really aggressive AR for this team. And he's dropping 20 here, highest on his team in the control, 31 in that hard point, solid in the S&D, I do believe, at 8. He has 59 on total. I do believe Minnesota Rocker will put up a little bit of a fight, but I think it's just going to be Drazah here, putting up a good AR performance here in this very first series. So I got Drazah, I got Bance, more and over. One team's losing, one team's winning, easy peasy there. Not going to go for New York. However, the play we are going to go for is this Vegas play in Standy on the more in map 5 kills. I really like this play for Standy. Let's go to some stats here to back it up. I think this Toronto series just really shows kind of Standy getting into his groove in S&D and really getting in his groove with this team. I think this was one of his second or third series with this team, and he dropped 12 in this first S&D and then 10 in the second. So he was popping off against his ex-team in Toronto. And then if we also go against this LAG team, I think it was TJ in this first S&D. That was kind of weird. It was a 6-0. But then also in this next one, it was Standy in the map 5, dropping 12. So you can either just pick your poison here, kind of go for TJ or Standy. I like Standy here mainly because of the line at 6.5. Both of these SMGs are very good at S&D, so I do think either one will perform. I'm going to take Standy here, but TJ is also a great play. Do want to predict an Optic pick here. We like Shotzzy on the Moor and map 4 kills. If you have seen some of my other videos, I have ran this in the past. I love this play on the map 4 kills for Shotzzy. If we go over some stats here, the guy just likes to ramp up his play towards the back end of these series. I think we took Shotzzy here in the map 4 for this Boston Breach series. He ends up getting 27, kind of tied with Dashy at 28. But if you go to this first hardpoint, Shotzzy's only dropping 20, and Hook's also below that line at 22. So it's really just like once these SMGs get into the map or get into the series, they tend to pop off a little bit more. Hook, on the other hand, he does randomly have pop-off map 1s, but we're not going to go necessarily for that because it is more of a luck, or we want to negate as much luck as possible is mainly the goal with these props, is we want to go for the stuff that we think is guaranteed. I think Shotzzy here probably is a guarantee at the map 4 kills, and that's the reason why we're going to go for it. I'll back it up here with one more stat on this LA Thieves match. Starting off with the map 1, we had Shotzzy here at 22, a little bit slower. We go to the map 4, Shotzzy with 29. So there's just a difference in prop that can hit either over or under. I mean, honestly, if you want to take Shotzzy in the map 1, you might end up hitting, but I like Shotzzy here in the map 4 because he could pop off in a map 1. The guy's insane at hardpoint, insane at those respawns, and so we like Shotzzy here. The map 4 kills on the over. So I'm looking at Simp here on the map 1 kills, and although it is on land, so that might not end up happening, and he is playing pretty well, so it's just so hard to predict this Atlanta team sometimes. We might not go exactly for that. Let me just think on it. The one we are going to go for, though, is accuracy in this map 1 kills on the under. I do feel better about this one, and the reason being is accuracy. He was playing very, very well this stage, and I tried to go for that over when they played up against Atlanta, and unfortunately I was wrong there. And I think the reason is he plays back a little bit more. He was playing a lot more of these position AR spots on the map, and he wasn't flying at people like he was in those like kind of LAG or Florida matches that are kind of just a little bit slower, or just not as high pace or high level of a match like this Atlanta Seattle match is. So I'm going to go accuracy on the under map 1 kills. I expect him to be that position AR for the team, and he's not going to be putting up those big numbers like he does against some of the lower echelon teams. That's why we're going to go accuracy. He did end up hitting 18 against the Atlanta in this opening hard point. Let's see it here. Yep, got a good old 18 and 18, and I think he was at like 13 or 14 and got like a random like 3 or 4 piece at the end of the first hard point that jumped him up to 18. So he was even lower than this. So I think accuracy feels good for this map 1. You could also maybe risk map 1 to 3. However, I do think this map 1 to 3 will go the distance time. I know it was a 3-0 for Seattle last series, but I do think this time it will go the distance, and that might fluctuate the kill numbers a bit. So we're going to go accuracy just on the map 1 under. This last play is kind of going to be live because I really got to unpack it here. I really got to think about what we want to finish off this 6-man prop, because we do feel pretty good about the other 5. I think, what do we think here? Priesta with 11, Priesta with 20, Priesta with 21. So he did ramp up his play in that second hard point. It did go the distance. Do we expect New York to kind of stomp him in this first hard point? Yeah. I mean, we just got to go with a prediction here. I'm not going to go Atlanta. I don't want to risk another Atlanta play. I did go Slasher on a map 1 to 3 kills on the under. A lot of people were roasting me about that, saying that Slasher is a land contender or just a land player in general. And I do agree with that. However, Slasher just has been very poor in hardpoint, guys. So that's why we were guessing the under for him in the map 1 to 3 in our entry down here. However, I'm not going to go for that. I think we're going to go New York here, and I think it's going to be Priestahh, guys, on the under in map 1 kills. Even in this hard point here, everyone's dropping above a 20, and it's a pretty close hard point, and Priestahh is going under at 19. So maybe we just expect him to have a slow map one start, and these other guys are kind of picking up most of the kills, as I do think they might run away with this very first hard point against Vegas, and then Vegas will obviously tie it up in that S&D, and then it goes to those control and that next hard point to see if we can get it to that map 5. So yeah, we're going to go Priestahh here. I kind of like this play at map 1 kills on the under at 22.5. I think this line at 22.5 is a little bit of a gimme. I do expect this one to drop probably to 21.5, maybe 20.5. I'm not sure what the prize picks guys are thinking on that one, because Priestahh hasn't been the greatest this stage. So 22.5 looks like it's a pretty solid line for us. So we're going to take that. I'm going to drop 50 bones here, guys. Or should we just go with the solid 100? Should we go for the 100? I kind of feel good about this. I don't know why, but I feel pretty solid about it. I'm going to go the 100. Why not? Why not? We got college loans to pay, right? We got them to pay. So let's go the 100 here. I'm going to place the entry. I might be getting a little greedy here, but the reason I'm doing this is because we do have some back end props here, a 4-man and a 2-man that we could end up hitting on. So some other opportunities to get some of our money back. That is why we're going to go a cheeky 100 here. You guys do not have to put this much money in. I probably wouldn't put this much money in, but if you got the bread, if you got maybe some promo action, throw it a little bit in there. Why not? I'm going to place entry here. And that's the beauty about these 6-mans, is you really only need 4 to get a little bit money back. You won't get a full return or upwards in return, but you will get a little money back. So that's why I do love these 6-mans as well, because you only do actually need 4 out of 6 to hit a little something, right? But the 25 times is for the 6 out of 6. I do feel good about this. We're going to place entry here. We're going to go to my entries, and we're going to just show it off right here, guys, so you guys can see the full entry. I know a lot of people like to see the full entry at the end of the video. Here it is, guys. Bance on the under in map 1 to 3 kills. Drazah on the over in map 1 to 3 kills. Standy on the over in map 5 kills. Shotzzy on the over in map 4 kills. And then Accuracy and Priestahh both on the under in map 1 kills respectively. Like in this prop, I feel a lot better about running a Priestahh pick here instead of that Atlanta pick. I was really mulling out a simp pick here, but I do think he is a really good land player, and he might pop off in that map 1. So I'm going to take Priestahh here, as I do feel a little bit better about that one. All right, guys, that is the 6-man prop for Thursday's matches coming up this April 20th. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis, and also some of these stats that we're going over. A lot of people have been asking me about the stats. You can find them on breakingpoint.gg. That's where I get all of my stats, where I can unpack things. There's a lot of really good stats on there, not just the stuff I'm showing. So if you guys want to check them out, breakingpoint.gg. They're a huge advocate for the COD community. They really help us out, and they're just a third-party company that just pumps it out for Call of Duty. So we love them, because not all the access is there on the COD side, like the actual Call of Duty franchise side, for giving us stats. So this Breaking Point GG website is really helpful, and I do suggest it for all your picks. Guys, thank you so much for staying till the end of the video. If you did, like if you're tailing, make sure to like that button if you're tailing, homies, because this one might hit. I'm feeling pretty good about it. We'll see. And then also make sure you're subbing to the YouTube channel if you're enjoying the content, enjoying the props, enjoying the community we're honestly building here, guys. I really love all the discussions we're having, and I love all the new people that are getting into Call of Duty, mainly just because I've been sharing it. I know a lot of people, like in my Twitter feed and my TikTok feed, they all know about Call of Duty, because that's just all the people that I follow. But like all the people that we're getting to watch Call of Duty, that's just the main goal, is to just grow this esport more and more. Because I do think, honestly, this is also my personal opinion, I think it'll be bigger than the NFL and the NBA one day, maybe in like 50, 100 years. I do think that these esports leagues, these esports franchises might take over, especially with this Web3 VR virtual reality route we're kind of taking. It's something to think about, something to discuss with me in the comments if you want. Whatever, guys. Thank you so much for staying, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.